What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 273 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And we are the STS Guys, a podcast where we shoot the shit, sit around, talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What's going on, Larry?
Well. Remember, God, this was a long time ago, too. Remember when Scott and I were doing the Toilet Rain Movie podcast, and like we were putting it off, and we were like, it's not dead yet. I feel like we hit that period the past couple of weeks, right, with Christmas and some work stuff, and but it's good news. The STS Guys podcast, it's not dead yet, and it's been a week.
It's been a week.
It has been a week.
It's been a couple or a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's counting, I don't think. I'm not counting.
Been good. How's it been going, man? Like, so what's been going on in the world of Larry?
God, not so much. Everything's good, dude. Thank you for asking. Like, I've been good. Work's okay. This is like, we're getting dangerously close to baseball season, so we have Diamondback season tickets. So there was an event this morning that I went to. So we're getting close. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. Super Bowl. My friend Eric came over like last couple of years. He came over for Super Bowl. Last weekend, I talked to him before the Super Bowl, right before Sunday, like on Thursday or Friday, and we were both like, "Do you even really want to watch this?" I'm like, "Nah." So he came over on Saturday instead, and we hung out, went to Del Taco, and we just hung out like for a while. But neither of us, like, I don't really like football. He does more than me, so I just kind of tolerate it, right, a little bit. But like, no, I don't know, that kind of stuff. I got some Del Taco. I got. I think Scott told us about this a very long time ago too. I went to Whataburger today, and I'm at least temporarily stopped drinking soda. Right, started the year. Like, I don't know, I just stopped drinking soda. I'll start again at some point, maybe. It's not like a life.
Hey, new year, new you.
Yeah, right, it was to prove. So my wife said I couldn't do it, so I'm proving my wife wrong. And at some point, it's already been like a month and a half. I'm good. I just haven't done it yet. But like, that means, right? Well, you don't really drink soda anymore. So like, sometimes the drink options are limited. Sometimes lemonade is gross. Like so I went to Whataburger today, and we got, like, everybody who listens to podcasts probably knows we like Whataburger shakes. They have like some Mexican, I don't know what they have for you guys, but they have some like Mexican hot chocolate shake right now in Arizona. I did not get that. I just got the regular chocolate shake, but I just got the combo meal. And like, instead of a soda, like, I asked for a chocolate shake, but they gave me the giant, large chocolate shake, which is still sitting on my desk, like half full, because it is way, way too big. I remember Scott saying I think Scott was doing that sometimes, and more often than not, they would give him the giant shake, but occasionally they'd give him like the normal medium-sized shake, which is much more reasonable, especially with your combo meal.
Yeah,
I got the giant,
an uncomfortable amount of shake.
Yeah, like, there's no way I'm gonna drink all of that. But
no, I totally get you though with the whole
the non-soda beverages.
No soda, and then
no alcohol.
You're limited on options. Like, you're so limited on options. Like you get sick of lemonade, you get sick of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and then like, there's the places that have the okay lemonade, like, that they make themselves. But we went to Native New Yorker. It's like a pizza place here. That's fair. Yeah, I know, but like, it's like a Phoenix chain. There's at least like probably a dozen of them. Like, there's quite a few. But they had we went there, and I'm like, oh, like, what am I like? So they had pink lemonade, and it was the worst thing ever. That was like a week or two ago, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I feel like I proved my point. At some point, when I go to a restaurant like this again, and the drinks options just suck, whatever, I'm just gonna get soda. It's fine.
No, like I said, I've been off soda now for almost 2 years.
It's long. It's getting to be a while, man. Yeah.
No, so next time you're in Texas, though, there's a new Texas thing.
Oh,
okay. So like, well, more so well, I basically switched out like soda for like Dutch Brothers since
Okay, yeah.
Dutch Brothers
Okay.
like a couple times a week.
Yeah.
But now, I said there is a new spot. It's called HTO. So it's
Interesting.
an entire store of nothing but flavored teas.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's
And
different.
they have like let me see if I can pull up the menu. So they have so they just opened up the one in I said in Pflugerville.
Cool.
Looks like they have one in Phoenix.
Oh, do they? Huh. Yeah, I mean, there's like that map. Like I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, I see the one.
So
there.
they have different flavor teas. So they have a root beer I see it, and it legit tastes like root beer.
But it's not like carbonated.
Yeah, it's not carbonated. These are all just like iced teas.
That's interesting.
It's actually really good. It's actually a really good place. Yeah, so like these are all the different flavors of iced teas they have. Like it's like iced teas.
But it's kind of like a Dutch Bros or whatever. Right? Like they just got all the you got the base, and then you can do whatever with it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, so this isn't just the base. Like this is like these are all like individually like pre-made. Like you go into the store.
Okay.
So it's almost like like when you used to go to like Water and Ice back in the day, and they had like the the different Kool-Aids or the different flavors. I said, and then you just in like giant clear things that basically kind of recycle the liquid inside, and you put your cup underneath.
Yeah.
So imagine basically a store with teas that was like 50 of those.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the one in Arizona is in Glendale. It looks like it's over by Westgate. Yeah, so the wrong side of town. But
it is a Texas chain, so that's why.
Okay, cool.
Texas.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Hold on. It's right there.
Yeehaw! Exactly. Yeah, Texas.
Very nice.
But so that's been my things. Yeah, so they just opened one up. So they used to have one that I used to go to in Cedar Park, but now they finally opened one up.
Same as the Glendale one. It's just kind of the wrong side of town. It's not too far, but it's just far enough. You don't want to go that far for a drink.
No.
Right? If you're there, you might get one. But
if I'm there,
it's too far to go for a drink.
But now, like, so this is super nice, super convenient. Like, it's literally right down the street.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Good find. The Dutch Bros has pretty good lemonades too.
The Dutch Bros
besides the coffee and stuff. Yeah. Like I typically go in the morning for coffee if I go there, but afternoons and stuff. What's your
go-to coffee?
There they've got like Dutch Bros. It's Kokomo. It's like a coconut mocha.
Oh, I like that. I know the Kokomo.
Yeah.
I'm one of three. So it depends on basically it depends on the type of morning. I'm either a caramelizer, a double torture, or if I haven't taken my medicine yet because I don't want my heart to explode, a 911.
Yeah. I remember you told me about that one. Yeah. It's there's Starbucks is closest, so Starbucks is where we go the most.
Starbucks is like shit.
Starbucks is like, it's fine. Like, you know what you're gonna get. Starbucks is like 2 miles away from my house. And then we just learned that they're opening another one that's going to be like less than a mile away from my house. So it is currently the closest. It's going to be definitely the closest. And then we go to Black Rock too, more than we go to Dutch Bros, because Dutch Bros is just like a little bit too far.
Yeah, no, we have Black Rock now out here too.
Yeah, I know there's one in Hutto. Like it opened before we left. Yeah, and there's Round Rock too. Like, but that one was too far. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's not quite as sweet as maybe some of the Dutch Bros stuff, but it's pretty solid if you're
it's so like in terms of sweetness, right? So it's like probably a Black Rock, Dutch Brothers, and then that god awful, and then that Summer Moon.
Oh yeah,
one that were basically it tastes like you're like drinking like pure sugar.
Yeah. I did not like that. I went there like once. I think it was okay.
It made my teeth itch. It gave me the diabetes.
That is not good. Right? That plus the caffeine. That's probably not a good thing.
Exactly. It's
a little too much. How about you, man?
Like I said, I've been like just doing random stuff, man. Like so, last few weeks have been crazy busy with work stuff. Like, so I've been traveling around and doing a whole bunch of work stuff, kicking off some different things. But then last week I did a personal trip. I'll tell I said everyone about that here in a second. But then I also get in these weird moods where I'm like, I want to reorganize a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why, like, literally I have nothing in my background right now.
I did notice that, that your shelves are surprisingly empty.
They're surprisingly bare.
Yeah.
Just because I basically like reorganized my hot toy shelves upstairs.
Cool.
I'm probably gonna bring some of the comic books I said downstairs.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I have my test. Ribbon to see
I can't tell what that is on that shelf, but yeah, I did. Oh, it's comics.
Spider-Man number 1 and Iron Man number 1.
Okay.
And then
cool.
Captain America and Giant Size X-Men.
Cool. Yeah. No, I like from that half a shelf I can see.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess
they look pretty good.
I can stand up now and.
Oh, nice.
Got my Vanna White camera.
Yeah. Very cool. And yeah, no, it looks pretty good. It just to mix things up, like why not, right? You can always, next year or something, you can always switch it up again. But I know you're kind of more like, I know you've been into the comics a little bit more lately too, so it makes sense.
Yep. No. So definitely been to that. I'll tell a comic book story here in a second. But last week, last week I went to Disney World for the first time ever.
Very cool.
So that was really cool. I did all 4 parks. So Hollywood Studios, I said Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's crazy busy. Like, to pack a couple days because we did literally all the parks. I said over 3 days. And rode a whole bunch of different rides. I was telling Larry right before the podcast. I'm like, the day and age, I said that we have basically adult money and can basically pay for Lightning Lane. That is, I said that is a treat. That is the way to experience it.
Like, it's expensive to just get into these things, but it's still like, if you could afford it, it's worth it. Because then you get to do like you get to go on all the rides you want, which is nice, and you kind of get to go at your own speed a little bit too, right? Like if you can spend less time there at the actual park and still maybe rest a little bit and do some other things where you don't feel like you didn't get your money's worth.
Oh yeah, like it was like I said, there's like. I literally spent maybe an hour and a half at Animal Kingdom because the only thing I wanted to do was go ride the Avatar rides.
Yeah.
I didn't care about anything else there. I wanted to ride that. I said I want to go to the Pandora Land and ride the Avatar rides, and literally hopped on the bus. Oh, that's also another thing I learned too. I'm like, staying on the Disney properties.
Yeah,
totally the way to go.
Yeah, totally.
That makes it
especially
so much simpler.
Disneyland doesn't matter so much, but Disney World does, because we stayed right. I went I don't know, before we moved from Texas, so a couple years ago. We stayed off property because I think all the Disney hotels were booked. But I could tell that was the way to go, because there's like the monorail thing or whatever they call it, right? The train that goes between all the parks, but it stops at the hotel. So like you literally just go like up the elevator and you're there. Whereas if you're staying off property, like, I don't know, we Ubered. There might be other ways to get there, but like you Uber and then you still got to take the stupid monorail.
Yeah,
it's
and then so yeah, they have the monorail. They have like the sky lifts. They have like multiple things.
The sky lift,
monorail, and they have the entire bus system. So like you can like so just because you don't realize, like in California, you can literally just walk across the lot to the other park.
It's basically
Disney World, not so much because they're so spread apart.
Yeah.
So they had the buses that went from park to park. They literally had the buses that went back to the hotels. No, it was super nice. Yeah, so we stayed on the property, rode all the rides, basically. I said the only thing I missed, and this is where I'm like I need to go back to Disneyland just because of the whole licensing issue. Is I wanted more Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Because of the licensing still. Because if it's east of the Mississippi, basically Disney doesn't actually have like the theme park Marvel rights. All that actually belongs to Universal. versus west of the Mississippi. West of the Mississippi, I said Disney owns. I said all the Marvel theme park rights.
Interesting. I did not realize that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't know this?
No,
yeah. So
I didn't realize that.
So in Disney World, there's no Spider-Man. There's like I said.
Yeah, that I knew. I just thought they just hadn't done it yet, right? Because
it's all the licensing. It's all the the licensing. Said because and it's actually split by the Mississippi. Like
interesting. That's weird.
Theme park licensing.
Yeah, that's really weird.
So yeah, it's weird. So you had a couple things of merch that were like Spider-Man and Captain America this other there, but yeah, no characters, no rides,
right?
Nothing. Like besides basically, like I said, besides characters and rides that were basically developed after the fact. So like for example, Guardians. I said when that licensing agreement was actually originally made. I said Guardians didn't actually exist yet. So because Guardians is basically a brand new IP, I said for them, it wouldn't fall underneath the original licensing agreement. So Disney, that's why there's a Guardians ride, I said over in Disney World, but nothing else.
Okay. Interesting. That one's at Epcot. That one was not open when we went, but you said that was probably your favorite ride?
That was by far probably my favorite ride.
Cool.
So like I was getting ready to explain it before the podcast.
Yeah.
So I might as well, I said, explain it while I'm on the podcast.
Yes, please, because I don't actually know what it is.
So do you remember, like I said, did you ever go on in the Star Trek experience? Like when I was in Vegas, like way like years and years and years ago?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Or there's this one thing I said, as part of that Star Trek ride, that was one of the coolest things ever. And it's basically they pull off a very, very similar effect, I said, with this Guardians ride. So in the Star Trek ride, one of the things that you do, I said when this was open, like I said, years ago, I said unfortunately it doesn't exist anymore. Part of you entering into the experience is they transport you to the ship.
Okay.
So like I said, you walk in this room. I said you walk in this room. It literally turns dark for a second. And then basically lights turn. I said lights turn back on. So like goes pitch black. Like you walk in, goes pitch black, lights go back on, and then all of a sudden, like the entire your entire area is now like on the ship. Like cool. And that's how it was in Star Trek. Guardians does a very, very similar thing. It's like, hey, you're on Earth. Like, hey, we need to get you to we need to get you to the ship. So step into this room. You literally step in the room for like literally a split second. And then like, hey, you're just like waiting around like in the lobby, and then all of a sudden like everything changes around you, and like I said, you're now on the ship.
That's cool.
So gave me very much like Star Trek transporter.
It sounds like it's similar. Yeah.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely YouTube this because it's a cool effect. But then once you get into the ride, the best way to describe it, it's basically like if you mixed Space Mountain with like some like 3D projections and like laser shows and this, that, and the other. Like it's a cool, and then it runs backwards.
Oh, okay.
So basically, you go at one point where you're going forward, and then all of a sudden, like I said, it'll basically whip you, and you actually start going backwards.
Okay. That's cool.
So yeah, and there's like as you're going through the ride, there's like different like projection screens and stuff like that. Like it was a cool, probably like my favorite ride.
Very cool.
So then it's so popular, you can't even line up for it. So you either have to do the lightning lane, or they have basically this thing called virtual queue, which basically you place yourself virtually in line.
Right. Like
you cannot line up. You cannot just line up for this ride.
Right. And I think you have to do it like once or there's 2 times a day. I think at least there are for the ones that Disneyland.
First thing in the morning,
and the afternoon. Yeah, sometime in the afternoon.
And if you don't do it then, like I said, you're screwed.
Yeah, like, exactly. In the morning one, you already have to have checked in. Like you can't do it from your hotel, like all that stuff.
Yeah, be in the park. Yeah.
You got to be dedicated to for that first spot, and then that means twice as many people are trying for the second. So you got to really want it. Unless, but you could do the lightning lane for that one.
You can do lightning lane for that one. So
good. Yeah,
it was definitely worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, it like you want to save some money, cool, whatever, try for it. But yeah, like if it's new and you really want to go, right, you really like Marvel like you do, like whatever, just It's plus it sounds like it was worth it, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, I
will-
I actually did. I actually did buy some merch in Disney World.
Did you? Cool.
So let me see if I can track. Oh yeah, that's track. So it's hard to see.
Yeah.
But right there is a Daredevil helmet.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they had the new from the upcoming Daredevil series. They had the new Daredevil helmet.
Okay,
out.
that's cool.
So I bought a Daredevil helmet, and then just because I'm a total child, also I got a new camera. You can't tell.
I like it though. I like it. It works.
AI is pretty awesome. All
Okay.
I can say is that.
It's
So
smart.
I built a little
Nice.
R2 unit.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's see my little R2 unit.
I probably never showed you mine, but it's right here.
Oh yeah.
from Disney World.
Yep. So I did. So I built that.
Yeah, that was fun, right? Like a little bit of an unnecessary souvenir, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like exactly. So I'm like, you know what? Hey, why not?
Yeah.
So
Same.
I built a droid.
Like I don't do anything with it. It literally sits behind my computer monitor.
That's
and
literally
that's
like, so I just barely took it out of the suitcase, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta figure out a spot for it.
Yeah. And it's cool, right? Like it's got like if nobody hasn't seen it, like it's right. You pick the parts, you kind of piece it together. You I don't know, use a tool and like tighten the, they're not really screws, right? But the bolts or whatever. Yeah. And it's got a remote control and like you can run around your house. Like they're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty
whatever.
It's a pretty cool little thing. But it's and then you got the situation. You get little things that's inside it. So like it's got it can make noises and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah,
I don't know. It's fun. Like like I don't know. Like I think they have that at Disneyland too. But like we did not do that when we went to Disneyland, but it was something special to do when we went to Disney World. So whatever. Like we spent a lot of money on crap at Disney World. That's
that
fairly normal.
The only thing is I spent money on was Lightning Lane, and then the helmet, and then the little R2 unit, because I said we made a reservation to build the droids. Like, so we were going to do the lightsaber thing, but I'm like,
I think the droid. They're both cool, but the droids. I don't know. Like the droid's kind of fun.
Well, the droid was like, it's going to be easier to pack. So that was true. That was why I opted for that.
True.
It was actually easier to pack.
Easier to pack. They also, I don't know about the lightsabers, but the droids will ship back for you too. They ship. So we had our ship back. I don't remember how much it cost. It wasn't too bad. For like Ian and me, maybe $50. I don't know. It was fairly reasonable, but yeah, we had our ship back.
Nice.
So that's an option too. I would say like from your description of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, I really like the Spider-Man ride at Disneyland, but Guardian sounds better. Did you go on the Toy Story? It's like, I don't know. It's like the Midway one where you like the carnival games.
Yeah.
So the Spider-Man one's a little bit like that. You sit in this car, it moves you around screens, and you shoot webs at stuff with your hands, right? You make the spider motion thingy, and it knows to shoot webs out of your hands, virtually, obviously. It's fun, but it's kind of got that video gamey feel to it too, where you're trying, like, right, there's scores, and you're trying to I think it's like spider bots or whatever. Like there's robot spiders that are crawling around that you're supposed to try to get. That's the main thing you're shooting at. But it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun. Guardian sounds a little bit better, but because you like Spider-Man so much, if you find yourself in that area, you guys will have to go check that out at some point.
I'm definitely going to go. I said to Disneyland again at some point in time, probably in the next year or so.
Yeah, it's cool.
My nieces, I said it's gonna be my nieces. I said first time. I said,
perfect.
I said at Disneyland. So like, they're planning a trip, and so I'm like,
I'll
tag along with them.
That's what I was gonna say. Might as well tag along, and go check that stuff out. There's not a whole lot else there. There's the Pim's Kitchen, the Ant-Man themed restaurant. It's pretty cool. There's the character photos and all that stuff too. And there's not much else that Disneyland that they don't have a Disney World. There's the Cars Land, but that's probably not something you'd be overly interested in. It's cool, but like, you know, it wouldn't get you through the door. If you're there, you might as well check it out. But because it kind of like, you probably have you ever seen the Cars movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually one movie I actually have seen.
All right. It was Ian's favorite, like when he was super little. So I've seen it a million times. But like when you kind of like the Star Wars land, when you kind of walk over into Cars Land, it does feel like you're in Radiator Springs. It's pretty cool. Like
that's cool.
Right, all the buildings for the movie are there and all that stuff. So it's, you know, other than that, those two things though, it's pretty much the same stuff.
No, so one other ride, I'm like, I can't, it'll be weird. I gotta I'll probably share it online, is the Tron ride.
Oh yeah. We didn't go on that either.
So that was
my dad even open.
Yeah, the Tron ride was pretty cool. Because like you actually, because that one's weird because you don't actually like, you actually like almost like sit down and like so almost like and lean forward.
Yeah, like how they ride on the,
like how you like ride on the light cycle.
Yeah, like yeah, like just like the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was a good time.
Did you eat anything good there?
Honestly, like that's probably the thing I was really disappointed in the most. Like there was nothing I'm like that good that I like that I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like
yeah,
I went to a couple different restaurants in there. They said they weren't bad. It's just, but it wasn't like oh, like, this is amazing. Like, this is great. So like we stayed at the Port Orleans where they had like the Mickey beignets and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get the Mickey beignets.
Yeah, they're pretty. Like, they're okay. Yeah,
they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. Nah, yeah, I can't remember anything we ate specifically offhand at Disney World. Like I think we did one of the character dinings for breakfast, and like we always get Mickey waffles at either one, right? There's the Carnation Cafe or whatever it's called. We usually go there for breakfast at least one day and get the Mickey waffles. So, I don't know, like you said, some of it's nostalgia, right? Like or doing the same thing you do every time, kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like part of it ends up being that for me. Like I have to get like corn dog and like it's like stupid stuff. It's nothing like too fancy, but like that stuff's kind of near the top of my list. It doesn't have to be like a full on meal. Like just give me a corn dog and I'm good.
No, I thought what's the one thing I looked out for, but I couldn't find it. So there's the place that does the corn dogs, but then they also now do a giant mozzarella stick. Oh, I wanted the giant mozzarella stick.
I did not know that, but that sounds sounds like something that we need to try. Yeah,
I'm like I wanted the giant mozzarella stick, and I didn't
for sure. No, yeah, we went to Disneyland right before Christmas. We only did 2 days, and we missed a lot of stuff. Somehow we went 2 days without getting a churro. I don't know. That's more of a Disneyland thing than a Disney World thing for some reason. But we went 2 days without getting a churro, and I'm not sure how that happened. We got churro toffee. Churro toffee is also amazing. So if you go back, you're gonna have to look into some of this stuff and figure out like what you need to try, because there's things.
Like, I went in like I said not as prepared as I could have been.
Which is fine. Which is totally fine.
I went in prepared, like I said, for like the number one thing was rides. I'm like that's probably the most preparedness list that I did was like okay, like, hey, lightning lane for this, and then I learned about all the places where you could basically, like I said, be a single rider, and like said you like cut all the line. If like I said if you're just like said some single rider, right? So
at least a little bit, right? Yeah. It's not bad.
But yeah, so it was
no, there's other stuff because like there's other stuff at Disneyland that they don't have because there's an Incredibles roller coaster. They opened I don't think there's a ride over there yet. They opened Big Hero 6 area, like the Tokyo thing. Yeah, it was packed. Like when we went over there, there's like a really big eating spot, but it was super packed. So we didn't do much besides walk through it, but it was cool. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you had a good time. What did you think about the Star Wars land?
It was cool. Like it was like I said, it was crazy. It was awesome how immersive it was. Like how built up it was.
Giant Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, Giant Millennium Falcon. That was cool.
Pretty cool.
This is the Rise of the Resistance. I said ride. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I like that one better than the Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that one better. Than the Smuggler's Run. But that was cool how they how they kept you in the, like I said, in the moment, like I said, even after the ride was over, like they're like, hey, like someone you like crash down, and like I said, and you're going through everything else, and then you're like when you go outside the ride, like I said, they change the ride depending on what time of day it is.
Cool.
So if you ride at night, basically the scene at the end of the movie, when you're basically said like falling down, I said to the planet, I said it is at night, or if it's during the day, it's during the day.
I did not realize that. I think I've only ridden it, like I know I've gone on at least twice. I think both were during the day.
Yeah.
Did not realize that. That's cool.
Yeah, it'll customize the ending depending on the time of day.
Yeah, I don't even think I've ever been over there at night.
It's cool at night. Like it's really cool at night.
I've seen pictures, right, like of other people have done it, but I don't think I've ever been over there.
We went at night.
Cool.
Night was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Right on, man. I'm glad you guys had a good time, and after some work trips, I'm glad you got some time for yourself too, which is
it was a good time. Yeah, and then back to work this week, and then I said my normal Saturday routine of going to the comic book store.
Oh yeah, I saw you post on Instagram. You got a coloring book, and it looked like a poster.
Yep, I got a Marvel superheroes. I said Secret Wars. I said like poster from like the 80s.
Yeah, that was cool.
that was in really good condition. I'm like this is pretty cool. I'm like I want this. So bought that, and then one of my all-time favorite artists, who actually created Swamp Thing, Bernie Wrightson, apparently at some point in time created an adult coloring book. I said back in like 1974, and so like the comic shop, I said they got it in a collection, and like I said this was in there. I'm like oh my god, this got to come home with me. And like this is I've never seen it before. Like it's something it was something I, being a fan of the artist, I'm like I had no idea it even existed, and so I'm like
I mean, a coloring book from the 70s has to be. I mean, I know it's an adult coloring book, but even then, like how popular could an adult coloring book have been in the 1970s? That doesn't feel like a thing that adults did. Nowadays, sure, whatever.
Yeah, nowadays, like it's crazy. Yeah. So back then, like
no, it's like. So I don't like. I'm trying to think of like TV dads in the 70s, and my first thought was Archie Bunker. I don't see Archie Bunker like coloring in a comic book or anything, right? Like those guys were working hard, and they were smoking their cigars and drinking their scotch, and yelling at their kids. Like they weren't coloring. So very very progressive of this guy to make
trying to get some of the. So here's the. I'm gonna share this here real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
So like. Some of these images, like, so this is like crazy, like for the time, right? I said for the time, like I said, it was a crazy, like messed up art, right? So like, zombies. Yeah. So
that's cool. The monsters.
It's crazy, and then not a single page is colored in. Like
Good.
Good. It's like you have. Like it was. Like I said, if you just bought it, I said brand new off the shelf.
Very cool.
But it's got some really really cool like art in it. Like And then it's
fun.
Bernie Wrightson is like I said, it's definitely one of mine. I said one of my favorite artists.
Very cool. Yeah, I would have saw that. I would have had no idea who that was. So it's cool, right? It found its way to the right home, and it's close enough to a comic book that hey, why not?
Well, that and it's like I said, like. You like me, Larry. I said you like stuff that's weird.
Weird,
weird and like I said and random. And this was definitely a weird and random purchase.
Yeah.
So very like cool. It's something that I'm like okay, I gotta have this.
Very cool.
But yeah, it was really really cool. It's like this big giant. I said that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only bad part is it's
crap. I did not pay that for it. $300. No, I did not pay anywhere near that. But yeah, it's really cool. really cool. That's probably like one of my favorite purchases today, besides the poster. Then obviously,
Yeah, but you went to the comic book store where you normally buy comic books, and you came home with a poster and a coloring book. So,
Yep.
Hey, awesome, cool, right? Little bit of a different Saturday for you than what you usually got. So I'm glad you found some cool stuff. I like the poster. The poster looked cool. I'd never seen that before, but it looked right. It looked
it's from it's so when they were doing it's a promo poster that was for all the Marvel superheroes heroes figures.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That looked like about the era that.
Yeah.
And it's folded like that. Like I had possibly still have. I feel like I had a Secret Wars poster that came with those toys. It was different though. It was like silverish, I remember. But yeah, like that kind of early to mid 80s poster is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, it was cool. It was in good shape, and then it was in like the biggest, giant, like the largest top loader I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hey, that works because then it won't get damaged, right? Like,
yeah,
so that's okay. Man, this one. Oh, that's not what I want. No, that works. Share. Have you seen this one before?
Yes,
I feel like it's fairly common. But yeah, it reminded me of this one. Before, because I don't think yours shows Secret Wars on it, so I didn't realize it was.
Mine just says I said it's the Marvel superheroes, so it's
okay, yeah. I think this came with the toys. At least I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. So
yeah, it's same era. Like it was like I think it was right before it's like Secret Wars launch or right after it wrapped up. But it's like right around that era.
That's cool. Very cool. I did notice your Comic Fury Instagram has a new logo.
Yeah, just temporary.
Greenish. Okay. I liked it. It looked like I intentional or not, it looked like STS Guys Green, which is great.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah.
That, and then I'm like, I was playing around with some. I said a couple things, and then I said it's really cool because like I said, if you zoom in on it, like, so it's like almost an outline of like sort of Spider-Man like figure, but then you also see like the city, like the cityscape. Like,
oh, okay, I did not catch that, but I was looking at my phone and it was small.
Yeah, so that's
cool.
That's my new temporary logo anyway. So I'm trying it out. I'm trying it on for size.
Yeah, good. Well, and I'm glad you're back home, because then you're posting more in there too. So it's good, right? Because you got a little too busy for a little while, but you've been rolling pretty good the past week or so. It's what, International Comic Book Week?
Yes, foreign comic week.
Foreign, yeah.
Comic week.
Yeah.
So I've been posting a few different issues from my travels.
Yeah, very, very cool and appropriate.
So some Italian, some from the UK.
Yeah, Spanish, right? Or is that Spain? It was like, it wasn't Mexican, right? It was Spain, Spanish.
Yeah, some Spain, Spanish, Spain. Yeah,
same. Yeah, but not Mexico. Like,
but not Mexico.
I thought it was in Spanish, but I'm like, it's Spain Spanish, not Mexico Spanish. It might be the same thing, but like, yeah, probably not. I don't know.
But yeah, other than that, that's
important question of the day, because yesterday the new Captain America movie officially came out. Did you see it?
I have not seen it.
I have not either. I believe this is a first.
I'm actually seeing it tomorrow.
Okay, well, still, like, whatever. It's almost 3 days in, because I think you could have saw it on Thursday if you wanted to.
Yeah, if I was more excited for it, I probably would have seen it on Thursday. But at this one, I'm like, I still haven't seen the last Venom movie yet.
Did that even come out?
Yeah, it's
Venom
literally
3?
on Blu-ray.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it came out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I vaguely remember
it's literally coming out on Netflix.
Is it okay? All right. Then I'll watch it on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, I think I saw it's like coming on like February 21st. Oh, next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Next week.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. I maybe vaguely remember that coming out.
But yeah, no,
that's
still
the
haven't seen
problem.
that. That's
No.
totally been up because I was hoping, because I said I've been doing so much travel. I was hoping. Oh yeah. I'm gonna rent it. I'm like, obviously it's gonna be on the plane. I'm like, it has to be.
Yeah.
And like literally, like I've flown like 3 or 4 different airlines like over the past few weeks. I'm like, not on a single plane.
Wow.
I'm like, it wasn't on any of them. I'm like, come on, man.
I feel like that's saying something too, though. Like nobody wants to watch this.
I'm like,
but
it wasn't on Southwest. It wasn't on Delta. It wasn't on the international stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, like it seems like it's a good streaming movie, like, but it's also a good plane movie because like maybe you're a little bit interested in it, so you throw it on, right? Like clearly you're more interested in it than some people would be, but I could see other people like, oh, I never saw Venom 3, like I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like because you're captive for a couple hours. Like it's kind of the perfect. Like I don't really want to watch this at home, or I definitely don't want to go to the movie theater, but I'm gonna watch it on a plane because I have nothing else to do for 3 hours. It's that kind of movie to me. But
yeah, exactly. But that's literally what I was hoping for. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be on a streaming service. Yeah. And nope.
All right. Well, we'll have to check it out on Netflix.
Next week.
I mean,
It should be on
to
Netflix.
watch. Yeah. So some stuff came up, so we didn't go see Captain America this week, but we'll probably go next week, just because I did see some stuff on Twitter today. Like I don't know, it's people are all over the place, right? Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. It seemed like the majority of the people thought it was okay. So hopefully that's all I'm expecting for is okay.
I'm okay with okay.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Because here's the thing, because like they'll as long as it's better than the Marvels.
Yeah, exactly. God, it better be better. It better be better than the Marvels, or there's going to be trouble.
The funny thing is, I was talking from a friend of the podcast. I said Mike from shout out to Mike from Pocket Pops, because he was asking me. I said, like, hey, did you see the new Captain America yet? I'm like, no. I'm like, he's like, oh, it's pretty good. No, and I'm like, on a gauge of the Marvels to Avengers. I said, the Avengers. It's like, I really like the Marvels. I'm like, I can't be friends with you.
Oh God,
that movie was a pile of dog shit.
It was not very. It was not. It was
horrible.
Yeah,
it was bad.
I mean, I'm glad somebody
you had great characters, and I think that's what drives me nuts about it. It's you had great characters.
Yeah,
and it was just bad.
First, Captain Marvel was good.
Yeah.
The Miss Marvel show was okay. This was like a huge step back.
Yeah.
They didn't use her right at all, but whatever. Yeah.
It's the first Marvel movie that I actually didn't finish.
Oh, really? It's sad. I'm pretty sure I finished it, but it was at home on Disney Plus, so like whatever.
Yeah. I think I had turned it on. I think I didn't. Well, I didn't go in the theater to watch it, so it was on Disney Plus. I watched it.
You probably turned it off and just didn't come back.
I'll
finish this later.
It was I was watching it and then I got distracted and did something else, but I never paused it and
it just finished. Okay, again,
like,
I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not worth the investment of time to figure out what spot you were in, or
exactly. So yeah, I'm like,
I'm good. All right, my other did you watch? Did you watch Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus?
Not.
The cartoon. I did. I think there's one episode left. I'm not sure quite. I started watching it like this week. There's 8 episodes out now, 3 of which dropped this week. So I'm not sure how many they're doing or like I don't know what the idea is. But anyhow, for my Google search, I think there's 1 episode left. I liked it. Like it's not like the greatest thing in the world, but I feel like I'm invested and I want to watch the last episode. So you'd probably like it. It's
positive. That's a net positive.
Yeah, it's worth. I feel like it's worth checking out. Like I will say, like mild spoilers. There's a lot of characters in it. Like Daredevil showed up in one of these last episodes. Like there's a lot of people in it, which can either be like chaotic, like a little too much, but they tie it all together pretty good. So I like that with Tyler. Shout out to our friend Tyler Calvert, who's hanging out in the chat. He says, of course he would know. There's 2 episodes that come out next week. So I guess that rounds it out at 10 episodes. But yeah, I like it. It's a little bit, it's different. The art style, like is okay. It's a little more violent than maybe some other Spider-Man cartoons. There's like the warning thing, like right, the rating that pops up when the episodes start. I think they say it has mild language. Again, sorry, I'm not quite sure what that means, but like there's some mild language and maybe some mild violence. So it's, it's a little more edgier adult Spider-Man than, maybe made directly for kids. It's for, more teenagers or adults. So I don't know if you're bored, which I'm sure, which is going to hit soon.
I think I've been waiting for all the episodes to come out, and then I'll probably binge through it.
Yeah, I think so. It's worth it.
Like,
it's worth waiting a couple more days. So
yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Honestly, probably the thing that I'm looking forward to the most at this point is honestly probably Daredevil. Like I said the new Daredevil.
That's got to be soon, right?
Yeah, like in March. Yeah, so it's here in a few weeks, like a couple weeks.
Cool. But yeah, I will watch that too. I wish it was March 4th, like super quick. I'm sure it's gonna be like the same like the Spider-Man cartoon, like 2 episodes, and then I just wish they just post them all. Like let us watch them. Yeah,
I'm like, just give me the Netflix formula. I'm like, just dump it all at the same time.
Yeah. Well, then so Tyler broke it down. Thank you, Tyler, for the Spider-Man cartoon. Right, they started with 2 episodes. Then the next week they did 3. Then the next week they did 3. That one I caught. And then last week is back to 2. Like it's just, it's just all over the place. Because that's what I thought. I'm like, I think because there were 5 episodes. I had no idea what I was getting into. But then 3 more popped up this week. I'm like, this is weird. So I'm like, I have no idea how many are left. So thank you, Tyler. 2 episodes. They're quick. They're quick watches too. Like it's not bad. I know you're not really going anywhere, but it would have been a solid plane show too to just knock out. You don't have to pay that close of attention to it.
I do like a good plane show.
Yeah, it's got a good story, decent enough. I don't know if it's a totally new story. He's got a friend named Nico, Nico. Is that a real thing, or is that like a cartoon thing? Do you know who that is?
He's got a friend named what?
Nico, Nico. Nico Minoru. I'm not sure if that's a spider. I don't know. It's this girl. Hold on. Share, present, whatever.
It is. I said it is someone from the comics. I'm just.
Is it? Yeah. This Nico, like I don't know. She's his friend. Oh yeah. I don't know. Right from Midtown High School. I don't know.
So apparently, she was. I said in the thing in the comics, The Runaways.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I don't know.
Never
She's in it. Harry, the social media influencer. It's yeah. See, thank you, Tyler. I don't know. Like it's a little modernized, but whatever. It's fine.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, right. It's okay. That's like it's not like you can't have any type of show come out nowadays that doesn't have cell phones and social media and all that stuff. So I mean, it's part of the world. It's okay.
Hey, you have to have it.
I feel like you do. Yeah.
I'm a proponent. Like I said, you got to watch those those Instagram reels.
Right. Everybody needs to watch all these Instagram reels.
I got to watch the Instagram reels, especially the old TikTok.
I haven't heard anything about that since that like less than 24-hour shutdown. That was weird. I thought it was funny that people deleted it because they're like, TikTok shut down. So they deleted it off the phone, and then they had removed it from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store up until like this week. And people were like, oh no, I deleted it. And it came back like 24 hours later. They were stuck without it. Like, my God, did anyone really think it was like, come on, like, was it really going to go away for forever? Not like there are too many question marks. So
there are. I'm like, it's just drama.
It is. Hey, but yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Like, worst case, there's the Instagram reels. So it's all
you gotta love the Instagram reels.
I've been seeing a lot of ads for the the Ray-Bans, for the metaverse or the Meta Ray-Bans. I've seen a lot of ads for those. They're starting to catch on. And a lot of people using them to make like the short form videos too.
Hey, we have a commercial now with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, really? I don't think I caught that. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
Chris
pretty
Hemsworth is rocking the Meta Ray bands.
Yeah, they're catching on, man. They need to do a commercial where like, you want to take pictures in like a museum that you can't take pictures in. Bring your Meta Ray bands. Totally low key. Right, low key. You can...
Chris Pratt and Chris Jenner.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I did not catch that.
It was our Super Bowl commercial.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Hey, that's cool though. They're cool. Like, I think they're kind of underappreciated. So I'm glad to see that they're starting to get some attention. To me, it's like way better than a GoPro or whatever, right? Like if you want to make those videos of you going around doing stuff, like GoPro's fine, but like it's kind of silly when you're like trying to attach to your backpack or wearing it on your chest.
Well, that, and then I said and they also have the AI built in too. So
yeah, well, yeah, and then it is that kind of cool stuff. Exactly. So
look at that. Come on. Yeah. Plus, I said that. Right. Plus, I said I get my prescription so I can actually see
that too, right? If you wear glasses, it helps for that too.
Yep. So
it's pretty cool.
They just don't have my anti-glare on them, so that's what they're.
Oh yeah. Well, the next step, figuring out anti-glare.
Well, no, you can get them with anti-glare.
Oh, you can.
I was just too cheap because I wanted.
You probably don't need it.
I filled my own prescription on those.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you probably don't need it, right? Like you're not using it at the computer or anything. And like...
No, well, I use it if I'm out and about, right? If I'm doing something, I used them. I used them when I was in Europe. So cool. I don't speak Italian, so I'm I use it to help me translate some Italian.
That's very cool. Like that is right. That is kind of a major like cultural milestone. Yep. That through glasses you can see things in your language. Like that's really cool.
Yeah, and then I also did them. I also used it for my my sneaky pictures of the
Sistine Chapel.
Sistine Chapel, yeah.
Where
you're not supposed to take pictures.
Yeah, very cool.
I didn't take pictures.
Nope.
I didn't have a camera. I had glasses.
Just like everybody else. Good old glasses. Very cool. Technology. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Yeah, cool. It's good. It's good we're back, right? STS Guys, not dead yet. You can follow us on the social medias. I was thinking about posting a post on Instagram saying we made a new video or new podcast once I get this posted. So maybe we'll do that.
From the dead, we're alive.
Not dead yet. Scott's out sick. Scott's doing good. If you made it this far, he's doing good. He's busy. Let's give one of these guys.
I don't have friends. I got family.
And one of these guys.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That was hot. That's hot. That is really hot.
That's so hot.
So I know that's cool. The Iron Man ones are so cool. Hot toys.
The Iron Man, like I said, they're literally my favorite of all the figures.
I mean, they're all really cool, but his suits always look really cool.
Well, it's just because, like I said, since they're metal, like
it's so much better than any type of plastic Iron Man toy. Like, and they're all right, but like there's a huge difference between the metal. But all right, that's until the next time.
Until next time.
What do you got, Jeremy?
All right. So for episode 273 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry. My bad.
And for the STS Guys, have a great night, everyone.
Oops. Bye.
Bye. Bye.